Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is stop number 4 on the tour, and it is the second Grand Slam of the year in Antofagasta, Chile. So we're back here in Antofagasta, and I'm really excited because we get to stay with an amazing family again here. This leg of the tour, we get to stay with Alfonso, Ricky, and their mother Ada, and it's just an amazing environment to be in. It's a super cool family. They really look after us, and we couldn't be in a better place here in Antofagasta. So here's a small montage of a couple of the things that I shot from last year. As far as last year goes, I didn't go too well in the event, but this wave is a really sick wave. It is a super fun wave. It is really technical and very tide dependent. When it gets low tide, it gets super shallow, and I have had my fair share of injuries out here, getting about 24 stitches in my leg a few years ago. The difference in the wave is that this wave is now a reef break, which makes it a lot different to what we had in Iquique in Brazil. And this wave is way more mechanical, and it works a lot better, and it's a lot easier for you to kind of get in tune with that. The thoughts about this event is Antofagasta is now the biggest event on the world tour. It is a $50,000 prize purse for the men's event, and that makes it the biggest Grand Slam that we'll have this year. When it comes to this affecting the entire standings, it's obviously because it's the biggest event, it's got the biggest points. So this is going to be the event that's really going to make or break the world tour, and exactly where we're vying for a world title. So it's a very important leg of the tour, and we are all vying for that top position in this event. So because we're in Chile, we're on the west coast of South America, and it is a lot colder than when we're on the east coast of South America in Brazil. The water is a lot colder here, and that means that boards act different. You now in a full wetsuit. Most of the time you're wearing a 4.3 or a 3.2, so that's going to affect your riding, and this is kind of what I'm used to. I'm used to having these colder conditions where the board acts differently, it's a lot stiffer, and it's going to be a lot more beneficial for me. This is what I've been riding in when I was at home, and I really feel comfortable after having 1 or 2 surfs here in the last few days. So when it comes to the location of Antofagasta, it is kind of in the central part of Chile, and it lies just south of Iquique. It took us 6 hours in the bus to get down here, and it is an amazing venue for bodyboarding. There are amazing people here that love the sport, and the government really backs these guys that put these events together, and that's what we want. The professional bodyboarders really want to see these events growing every year, and this is one of those events that's really taken off. So the wave itself is a left-handed point break. It's when it gets bigger, it runs a lot easier across the reef, and majority of the time it gives a really long running wave. There's 2 parts of the wave. The first part, it goes a little bit flat, and then the second part is where it actually breaks onto the shallower part of the reef, and that creates quite a nice running line for you to either get barreled and do a move out, or just go through that and do one single move at the end. But it's a really functional riding wave when it gets really good, and I think we're going to see a lot of action going down, especially when the conditions get better and the waves get a little bit bigger. So this destination is really remote. We're out in the desert. There's not much vegetation around here, and behind us we have these huge mountains that are really just sand dunes full of rock, and that's what kind of makes up the scenery here. When we look at the water, there's a lot of sea urchins that cover the rocks underneath the water, and the rock is really sharp. So, you know, these are different things that make up this area, and it's really got its own beauty to it. Even though there's not much differentiation, there's just big mountains that cover this coastline. So it's a very dry area, and it's just in the middle of the desert, and the wind is a factor here. So most afternoons the wind will come up, it'll blow up the coast in a southerly direction and actually blow a little bit onshore. So that's going to be one of the things that's not going to be so favorable to us. But all in all, it's a great venue. These guys are really amped to have us here. We just had an amazing press conference down at Geotel, at the hotel that's hosting the event, and it's looking like all systems go. So stay tuned to the APB, keep watching, and tune into the live feed. Also follow my YouTube channel as well as my Instagram. I'm going to be posting daily on there, so keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited to be competing here at the Antofagasta Bodyboarding Festival. We'll see you guys in the next video.